Everyone, how goes it? This is weird. I have to say this is really weird. But I'm just gonna roll with it. So anyway, a few weeks ago we were talking about the Renaissance, right? And how people were turning towards what's called humanism, meaning about the human, literally. They were rethinking, bringing back the ideas of what it meant to be a human. Rinascimento, right? Bring back thinking. So, the main topic that we're going to be looking at while we're on this lessons away from school kind of thing, whatever this is, what we're going to be looking at is basically the scientific revolution, and perhaps then the industrial revolution. And so I want you to take a look at this picture. Actually, I really like this picture because it shows the idea, right, of right there, of like science being all throughout humans and even the mathematics of this. It's actually a really brilliant picture that I found in this book that I happen to just have at home because I'm a nerd that way. But yeah. So anyway, one of the main ideas, right, about it was to figure out how it relates, how science relates to what it means to be human, what it means to think. So here's a really good quote, yeah. And it says, I have in this treatise cultivated mathematics so far as it regards philosophy. Remember that philosophy means thinking, right? Love of learning. And Isaac Newton, he publishes in the 1600s this Principia, which is basically the ideas of what are the mathematical principles that run nature. That's why you have classical physics, one class that you'll probably be taking in a couple of years, next year or the year after. Anyway, here's a basic timeline of the scientific revolution. So prior to all this, remember there's Ptolemy, who basically says, when we discussed Ptolemy, he said that everything ran around the earth. Copernicus says no. Then Kepler describes how the planets actually aren't just circles, but they're actually elliptical, and he comes up with an equation for that. Francis Bacon, he writes what's called the Novum Organum, which literally means new living, the new organic. So he writes a treatise about like thinking scientifically. Galileo, he does his astronomy, right? Then they have what's called the Royal Society, founded in England, and it has nothing to do with kings or queens. It's actually one of the first scientific institutions. It's like a laboratory. Really incredible. And it basically shows you here also, how these ideas all led to this. So what is the wave motion of light? Remember, later on, they say that they discover really that light is not just a wave, but it's a particle as well, right? And that's why we have Albert Einstein, all right, and saying that everything's relative. So here's, in case you just want to read what that is, right? It describes gravity, right, mathematical stuff, movement of planets and satellites. By satellites, we're not talking about the machines that we send into the sky, but actual natural satellites like moons and stuff, asteroids, whatever. And it's really these people that push really thinking about, sciences. Yes, this is mainly physics, this particular page, but it really pushes all the other sciences, as you're going to see in the next few days, hopefully this week. Remember, you're just doing something a day. Don't rush the whole thing because there's going to be more to each thing. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this, right? And notice, how it still tries to balance Christianity with sciences, even though the church will go against it because they think a lot of stuff is heretical. It's just new. Really, it's just new, all right? Anyway, hope you enjoy this. If you have any questions, write respectable comments below. Be nice to each other. Have fun. Stay safe. Make positive decisions. And Heinz